Hey friends, welcome to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast. I'm Amanda Dare, a serial entrepreneur who has already made all of the money mistakes, so you don't have to. Now, I'm working on my money mindset, expanding my companies, and having open conversations with women around a subject that shouldn't be so taboo: money. My company, Woman Owned Wallet, and I are determined to help you foster a positive relationship with your wallet and help you create a life that makes you say, wow. Hey friends, and welcome back to another Money Mindset minisode with Melissa. I have to make sure I say that correctly each time. It is such a beautiful alliteration. It makes me so happy deep inside. I think that's probably the creative in me just loves it. But we're so excited to have my money mindset coach, Melissa, back with us for another minisode of something that you can implement in your money or wallet journey, however you're describing that to yourself, but in your financial journey. And so, Melissa, I just wanted to welcome you back to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Another fun little conversation of ways that we can just make life better just a little bit at a time.
Absolutely. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that came up during one of my money mindset coaching sessions, which was the idea of the spender versus saver. So the spender versus saver, I thought I had to be one or the other. And as I was growing up, I always felt like I watched people spend money, and that for some reason felt a little irresponsible maybe, or just like over the top. And it didn't feel like it came with a lot of stability. So what we're trying to figure out in my coaching sessions was the reality of my life is that I want to be spending money. I want to be giving as many women as possible, as much money as possible. And I want to be a part of their journey, and I want to fund artists, and just, I love paying women and I love spending money. So that didn't have to mean something so negative about me. It just kind of helped me really get through the idea that it didn't have to mean something negative or irresponsible or anything to be a spender. So what do you think about that, Melissa?
Yeah, I think you had like this negative connotation of spenders that a lot of people do, that in order to be a spender, it means that you have to spend recklessly, that you're going to Target and coming home with $300 worth of stuff and hiding it in your closet, right? But that's not what a spender has to be. There's a lot of spenders who spend a lot of money doing a lot of good out in the world. And when we made the connection together that you can be a spender who spends, quote, for good, and that would make you feel good about being a spender, it was a really cool moment, because in our relationship coaching, I haven't looked at you as being some like impulsive spender who does it just to get the thrill of spending. It's not like an obsession for you. It's just a joy of you to spread wealth into the world, into the communities that matter to you. And the more wealth you have, the more you can do that. And it's a pretty beautiful thing.
Well, that just made me blush. That was the cutest thing ever. So thank you. And I agree with you. I think I spend money and it's a joyful experience for me, but I don't do it out of an obsession, like you said. Honestly, most of the time I do it out of necessity. Businesses have a lot of bills, and as a serial entrepreneur for over 12 years, I have had to spend a lot of money. And I kind of think of myself sometimes as a little pipeline for money to just flow through, and it goes to different places. So it's not as much, I agree with you, it's not as much about the thrill. It's more about the desire to complete what I consider to be my life's mission, which is to spread the joy, spread the wealth, and really invest in communities that are often overlooked. And my community that I really connect with is women and is feminine energy with that. So I really love paying, especially makers, especially artists, especially people that will help me grow my business and my employees within my business. So I agree. Taking the idea that spending has to be reckless off the table for me really relieved a lot, and I mean a lot, of stress. And I think one of the things that really helped me with that, okay, so there was two things actually you had me do. I have a new wallet friend, and it is a larger bill, a larger dollar bill amount that I open up my wallet and I can see it sitting there and I can say, "Hey friend, how are you today?" And I know that might seem silly to you guys, but I wasn't always comfortable sitting with money in my wallet. And the second one was I have multiple accounts. I'm working through a profit first method, which is an accounting method that you can check out the books. They're amazing. And so I'm working through that method, which means I have a lot of bank accounts. And that can feel really overwhelming for a lot of people. But for me, moving money into those bank accounts made me feel like I had stability while still spending it and while still gathering it for the next bills that came. So I would love for you to kind of talk a little bit about the wallet friend and how you came up with that idea and how us spenders can really, not have to do it so recklessly, but can plan for it, can feel good about it. And especially within personal finances, since I own businesses, I totally understand that. But I want to show some examples for personal finances too.
Right? Especially people that naturally want to spend. You get money and you already know where it's going to go, right? You have a list of places that the money is going to go. But you have to learn how to be with money. You have to learn how to have it and not immediately send it away from you. Now, maybe you're sending it away to go spend recklessly more, which is not great. Maybe you're sending it away to pay off debt, which people would think of as good. But you need to know and prove to yourself that you can just have money. And when I was on my personal financial journey, step number one, starter emergency fund of $1,000. That's like, no matter what, that's always my first recommendation for anyone trying to get on track with their personal finances. It is the catch-all to save you so that you don't have to go spend more on a credit card. And having that be the very first step of my financial journey taught me how to be with money. Here I was looking at all my debts sitting right in front of me, and $1,000 was a lot to me at the time. And I thought, man, I could put this $1,000 onto this one bill and it would take it down by half. But learning how to say no to yourself for a good reason, not shaming yourself into a no, not saying, I'm not going to spend this because it's not responsible, saying, I'm not going to spend this because this money has a purpose and it's going to hang out with me and it's going to be my friend, right? We have a relationship with money. You might think that it's silly to call it a friendship, but it really is a relationship. And it's all about what you believe about the relationship with money. So if I can believe that my relationship with money is a friendship, I'm going to feel like if I continue to do good things and show my money that I enjoy it and I would like more of it to be around and I know how to treat it, that more of it will come to me. And it doesn't even need to be that literal if you're not that kind of a person, if that's like a little too far for you. It doesn't even need to be that literal. The point is that you need to learn how to just have money if you want to have money.
Absolutely. There were so many times when this is kind of off the cuff and probably something we need to explore in our coaching sessions. But as a woman, I've always felt like being kind and being generous. And those are qualities that I have, being a woman or not. Those are qualities that I was taught, that I understand. But I'm a type of person that I will give you the shirt off my back. Like, I want to almost give too much. And I struggle to pay myself and to hold money in a way that benefits myself while I'm empowering and benefiting the women around me. And so it needs to be a comfortable space where I sit with my money, where I know I love when you said this money has purpose. This money going towards an emergency fund. Heck yes. I have not even done that. I guess personally I have one, but with my business now, I'm like, ooh, I need more emergency funds. Just like available all the time. But it's something that as I started to develop my relationship with my money, and since we've worked together, I've paid myself more than I had in 5 years of working. And it's fine because there's money there. There was always money there. And I never quite felt that it was for me. And so sitting with that money and moving that money in different ways completely changed my relationship with it over a few like sessions together, over like a month. And having that money like always be there and always be looking me in the face saying, hey, friend. I mean, I know it sounds a little silly to call it your friend too, but I really needed it to shift from that negative to positive place. And every single time I opened my wallet, I was still spending, but I saw the $100 sitting there. I was like, okay, like it was more than a 20. It was more than a 50. Like it was a substantial amount of money that I totally agree with you. I could have spent on something, but feeling that money sitting there talking back to me in a way and kind of always being there for me changed my perspective and helped me understand that I wanted to pay myself and contribute more to my personal finances and to my family life with my husband and myself. Like we've had conversations now that are so amazing and so beneficial to our relationship because of this $100 bill that's sitting there and completely helped me be okay with spending money and quote unquote saving it. Not quite. It's more of the stability was still there and the friend was still there and that I could be both. I could have stability and spend. And that felt so just such a weight off my shoulders. So I just want to thank you for that.
Well, you are so welcome. And you are not kidding when you say that you would give somebody the shirt off your back. Because the first time I came to shop at the New Black, I was trying stuff on and I was like, I wonder how this would look with leggings on. And you're like, hold on a second. And you literally took your leggings off. You're like, I'm sure you'll fit. We're about the same size. And I put your leggings on and I got to stand in front of the mirror and see how amazing I looked with your dress and the leggings underneath. But it's really a part of who you are. And we don't want to make you feel bad about something that is such a wonderful quality about you. We're just going to find other ways to kind of balance it out. You know, you need to know how to have that money hang out with you and feel comfortable with it. Like you said, because it has a purpose. You have chosen, you've decided, like, this is it. It's not a question. It's a decision. And every time you make those decisions and then you follow through with them and you see the rewards that you reap from doing it, you just get stronger and stronger and more capable and more able. And it opens up a lot of space in your brain to not have to worry all the time, to not have to wonder, because you have money. You know you have money because it's there and you put it there. It's way more powerful. I know it seems so simple and you're probably thinking, well, it's, there's only so much that's really going to do. But I dare you to try it. And if you don't agree with us that it's super powerful, let us know, because it's something so small that can mean so much.
1,000%. It changed my life. And I agree when you told me about it at first. I think you had even suggested maybe like a $50 bill or something like that. And in my retail business, someone had spent $100. And I was like, okay, well, instead of, like depositing this. This is the money that's going to sit there and I'm going to look at it. And we're going to talk to each other. I recorded the sales, don't worry, but it was something that I organized it and I decided, but it was the one thing that I was like, you know what? I'm not even sure that a 50 would have been enough. Like, I think the higher dollar amount, because of how much money really does flow through my businesses, really made me feel even better. And I think those habits, like you were just saying, you know, those decisions that you turn into actions, the habits are really what define your life much more than anything else, really. Like, the habits are what you live every single day, and how to change those perceptions of the positive and the negative emotions that you might feel, or hopefully sometimes just the neutral emotions that you feel around your money. And I mean, I'm just really excited that it has completely opened up my mind over a decade of being an entrepreneur. I've learned so much about money, and even talking to you through all of these things. And I remember that day now with the leggings. To be honest, I didn't remember it before you said the story. And now I'm like, oh my God, I totally remember doing that. When we were located in the mall, I was just like, oh yeah, I think I maybe had a dress on or one of the long tops. And I was like, here's my leggings. They might have some cat hair on them. I don't know. But like, I remember doing that. And I've actually done that with people when they're like, oh, I wonder what this looks like in heels. And I was wearing some. I'm like, well, what's your, shoe size? But the leggings is even better because I literally took my pants off and I was just like, try these on. That's a great example. So thank you for sharing that. I love that story and I had forgotten it. So I really appreciate you bringing it back up. It made me like my heart flutter. I was like, oh my God, she's so right.
It made such an impression.
Well, that's what I do well. I make a good impression usually, or just an impression in general. Well, I just wanted to wrap up here, but thank you so much, Melissa, for continuing to be kind of our money mindset coach for the WOW podcast, but especially for me, the entrepreneur that owns WOW and multiple other businesses. Like, I knew that I needed your coaching, your guidance, your mentorship, your friendship back in my life again as we were all coming out of the pandemic. And it really has made such a big difference. And I can feel myself less stressed about money the further into the process that we get. So just thank you for that. And will you please share with how our friends that are listening, our fans, can follow you or can get some money mindset coaching of their own?
Absolutely. And you're so very welcome. It's such a joy to watch your growth, especially because I know your mission and I resonate so deeply with everything that you're trying to do. And it's amazing to be able to support you in that way. So thank you. But yeah, if you want me, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. It's Melissa Blandford Coaching, and my website's melissablandfordcoaching.com. So I'm pretty easy to find. Come let me know. What's that?
That is perfect. It's so hard when you have to have different names across different platforms. So that's the best way to find it. I'm sure we'll put it in the show notes as well. So definitely check that out. And thank you, friends, for joining us. We will see you again soon.
If you want to put more money in the wallets of women like we do, then check out our website, thewomanownedwallet.com. And we can't wait to continue the conversation on our social media. So definitely follow us on our Instagram, womanowned.wallet, and TikTok, womanownedwallet. You can also support us and be entered for some amazing giveaway opportunities by following us on Apple and Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. Thank you for listening to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast.